Yo, it's your boy South Central. We back in the building with a part two, Black conservatives versus white liberals. I got great responses from the first video, man. And I appreciate you guys' responses. I appreciate you guys' time. Let's get into it.
I'm not going to start. Someone else can start. Sorry.
I think affirmative action has a
Okay, they didn't ask the question. So the question is, do you agree with the Supreme Court decision to end affirmative action? That is the question. Proceed.
its purpose. I think that it was necessary for a particular time. And I think that every black person knows how to get into college. You could pull out the names, the Oprah, President Obama. You can pull out the head of Time Warner was black man, the Forbes was black man. We know what to do now. We don't need affirmative action anymore. And to me, affirmative action is offensive sometimes, especially nowadays, because I have 6 children and 2 boys, 4 girls. And all of them went to Harvard and Columbia and this one and that one. And it breaks my heart to think that they accomplished that goal of getting into these institutions just because of the color of their skin.
I can definitely say that it creates a lot of tension when you have affirmative action. I remember my first week at the University of Illinois, I was sitting.
So with affirmative action, I don't think that it's fair. All right. I understand where it came from. You can't deny the history of why it was created. But everything starts off as innocent, all right? And then it gets corrupted. Now it's about your ESG score, okay? How much am I complying with the liberal New World Order? All right? That goes for how many trans do I got? How many gays do I got? How many non-conservative white males do I have? That's basically what it is, all right? It's meant to be unfair. It's meant to cause a ruckus. It's meant to teach the white man a lesson, all right? Teach white people a lesson. It's not based on fairness anymore. The purpose of affirmative action is not needed anymore. So what it is it's tokenized as black people. And to me, that's racist, okay? Then again, let's go back to the liberal thought process of how they view black people. You need my help. I'm gonna help you. Well, this person doesn't qualify for it. Well, so what? He's black. He needs help. He's a victim. So this is my lending hand of help, okay? But honestly, I don't truly believe that they care about black people and that they really trying to help minorities and gay people. No. It's all an agenda, okay? They have to, all right? Even if they don't agree with it, they have to do it because they get funded from BlackRock and these big money corporations and WEF.
Sitting with some classmates, and a white student turned to me and jokingly like, "Hey Xavier, like, did you just attach a smiley face when you applied for this college?" And I started asking what he meant, and he said to me that he was like, "You're black, I'm assuming you had decent grades. You could have just attached a smiley face and you would have gotten into the university." So I was livid by that.
Now, when it comes to that, don't you see how offensive that could be? Like, to a black person that actually chose to work hard. So when it comes to this, you also are devaluing the hardworking black people because other people, fairly, right? Other people know you didn't deserve to be there, all right? They always have a prejudgment of you don't deserve to be here, all right? You didn't work as hard as the next person. You got chosen just because you're black. It's demeaning, all right? And it's sad that society has gone to that and thought that helps black people. It doesn't help us.
I started naming all of my accomplishments, and I felt so confident only for about an hour, because then an hour later I started saying to myself, like, wow, like, did I actually earn my way in here? I started to have this insecurity, and I started wondering to myself, did I earn this position myself, or did my ancestors' suffering earn this for me?
And too, I've seen it in the sense of like affirmative action taking away from other people who are minorities. Like I had a friend who was Asian and he in high school and he really wanted to go to MIT. That was his dream school. He interned there. He was super like prepared.
Like Mike Pence out here.
And he didn't get in. And you can only assume that it was because of affirmative action because they have such a large Asian population that they want to admit other people.
So in order to make somebody else feel better, you have to undermine somebody else, right? So in order to make black people feel better, you have to destroy other people. That's where society crumbles, okay? You only infuriate other people. You make other people mad. You make them not like black people. You make them question black people, okay? It doesn't do anything but cause racial tension, all right? They didn't solve anything by doing that. But I do agree with the Supreme Court decision to annihilate that. All right, it's wrong. It's wrong. Just because you black is not a good reason for me just to hire you. All right, do you qualify? What could you bring to my company? It's always a give and take. But if you take that out of it, there's no accountability. There's no responsibility. There's nothing. He's just here because I want to boost my ESG score, my compliance with the New World Order.
I was going to actually argue that it's more racist nowadays because it excludes so many Asian Americans from getting into universities who do deserve a spot, and they can't get in because of affirmative action, which, again, like you were saying, was necessary at the time. But now it's like anybody, if you have the skills to do it and you're in America, you can get in.
I don't think affirmative action is the worst thing, considering all the different types or aspects of a background you might take into account when somebody's getting into college, whether they were in certain clubs, Boy Scouts, what type of classes they took that might not be available to everybody. I don't think that factoring in the affirmative action is necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like because of everything you guys have said, the optics behind it are so horrible today that even if it is slightly beneficial in the long run for certain people.
Like I said in the last video, when it comes to liberals, they love ideas, all right? They think that everything should go the way that these Democrats propose it to be, okay? There's always a hidden agenda after, okay? They always want to get your attention and say, hey, I'm the good guy. Look what I'm doing. Affirmative action, you really need it, okay? Because it's unfair to the minorities, okay? When it comes to that, they always have something in the back end. It's never just as innocent as you think it is going to, as innocent as they say it is. All right. And it's your job to figure out why these people are doing this. All right. And like I said, everything always start off as innocent. We're letting people run from their countries because their country is going to hell. OK, we need more immigrants. But what they're doing, like you're seeing in Chicago, what they're doing is stirring up problems with black people and the immigrants, because eventually the immigrants need a job, and capitalism, right? It's dirty capitalism. You're going to hire people if you could pay them less. OK, they're going to work for nothing. It's good business because I get to save more money, but also it's destroying the country. And most corporations does not have the most corporations does not have the America first mindset. It's just whatever. If America falls, I'll just take my money and go elsewhere. But what they don't understand is that there is no elsewhere, because elsewhere want to come here. And if you make this a shithole, where everybody else gonna run to? America is the boiling point. And if you destroy America, you destroy the world, to be honest.
I think we can probably refocus most of that into figuring out like the class that people come from, the neighborhoods, the backgrounds or whatever, without it having to necessarily target race. The only thing that I kind of wonder now that it's gone is, instead of a black person being in school thinking like, man, am I here because I'm an affirmative action pick? Is it going to be a kid that is poor or a kid that's from a different zip code?
I think we should do away with all of it. It's just like submit an application, no demographics. Why do they ask your sexuality? Like, why do they ask all that stuff?
So, if affirmative action accomplished its purpose, why do we still see the disparities that we do in the professional workplace? If you average white wealth and compare it to black wealth totals, white people as a whole have about 50 times greater wealth than black people as a whole per capita. So I just don't understand why you think affirmative action has accomplished its purpose. I don't see that.
Curious, why do you assume that just because there is a disparity means it's because of a racial issue?
What else would it be from?
Bro, a lot of black people don't want to hear this, bro, but to be honest, we're getting aborted by that's the biggest problem in the black community, which is abortion. All right? We're not making any black people. And when we make black people, right? When I'm saying making black people, it's not like it's like a factory. What I'm saying is that when black people are being born, right? They're being born without a father. They're not entering the economic workforce. They're not building wealth for themselves, okay? Because they have a victim mindset that these people are pushing on. Okay? They don't even try, okay? And I can say that as a black person, because growing up in the hood, it's only people that look like me that's holding each other down. There's no white man. You can't make the excuse that, oh, well, this happened in the past, so this is why black people are going what they're going through. You have the best resourceful tool in your hand every day. That's a phone. You pick and choose what you want to look up. So you're going to end up being exactly what you listen to. So if you focus yourself on that, being a victim outside of the culture, black culture, rap culture, whatever, you can't make that argument as if all black people are working, entering the economic force, and they're not building any wealth. No, most of them are in prison. Most of them are gang banging, doing bull crap because of the culture. All right. And we're getting aborted by the millions, bro. We getting aborted every year. It's horrible, dude.
I mean,
upbringing, economic abilities,
Desire to
skills.
go, desire to.
I mean,
So
zip
it
code
was their
does
fault.
play a lot. If you grow up in a neighborhood that
Yes, it is your fault. The reason why it's your fault is because, like I said, you have the best tool in history, which is a phone. It's a gift and a curse, because you can pick and choose to be dumb and watch dumb shit, or you can research what happened and how you can get better in life. There's so many resources out there. You pick and choose how you want to spend your time. That's holding yourself accountable. If you want to play games with your life, so be it. But you can't blame society for your fucking problems. And that's the problem with the liberals. That mindset is always going to destroy a black person. The mindset is going to always destroy any person that don't believe anything is their fault. It's that simple.
experiences a lot of trauma, you're not as likely to do as well in school, which means you're.
Why did they grow up in a neighborhood that experiences a lot of trauma?
I mean, lots of people do.
Bro, all right, so I know I keep stopping him, but this is a great take, right? Because Alec, he may not understand what the black community is. Me growing up in South Central, me being from a gang, all this, right? We keep each other down. It's that simple. It's not no white man is around. We keep each other down. We keep each other accountable for the street code that we created just to help more criminals. They're all compliance to the street code. All right. You can't tell anybody, which means you can't hold the criminals accountable. So either you're going to be a part of it or you're just going to be a victim all the time. It is what it is. All right. And that's how the black community looks at it. And if you do become successful, you're the square. You're a weirdo. So either you're going to learn how to fight, stand on your own and become violent, because most of the time it's like, it's sad to say this, you institutionalize before you're in the institution, bro, because it's trained for you to be that way. And we do it to each other. So I'm holding the black community accountable. This is I'm from that. Okay. I'm a product of it. In order for me to get here and to get to this mindset, I had to step over so many black bodies. Okay. So much blood spilled, so much mental games as far as them telling you what you should be and what you shouldn't be. And what you should be in the hood is way further than what you're supposed to be as a man, because a man handles his business. All right. A man stand for community. I'm going to do what's best for the community. I'm not going to do what's best for the street or the street gang, because it doesn't matter to me. I'm worried about these kids in the next generation, but we don't have that. So for Alec to say that, oh man, why are they going through that? We keep each other down, bro. We keep each other down. Even when you listen to the rap music, it's always about other black people keeping other black people down. So you can't say that doesn't matter. You can't say that, bro. And if you do, are you truly trying to hold who's responsible accountable? If not, it will never change. It just won't change. And honestly, as a black person, I'm not even supposed to be saying that, because it's against the rules. If you black, you're supposed to disagree with it. No snitching, no this, no that. But at the end of the day, I'm for the community, bro. I'm for America, bro. I don't give a fuck about being black. And if locking motherfuckers up to clean up the streets and make sure these babies get a better chance, I'm for that, bro. I don't give a fuck about no snitching, none of that. I don't care.
Why specifically do more black people?
Government assistance programs.
Government assistance programs, like what?
Try redlining.
I mean, you can go into that if you'd like to, but let's take
It
a
is
look
relevant.
at the Great Societies Act, which was created to kick black fathers out of the home and get black mothers on welfare assistance. These things aren't beneficial for economics. These things aren't beneficial for actually paving a way for success for black children and black families. I mean, reducing a two-family household to a one-family household isn't going to make them the richest man in the world. It isn't even going to get them out of high school. Nonetheless,
You mean
the ability
parent.
to even get to college.
You mean
Yeah,
two-parent?
the child, yes, but a two-parent household
Yeah.
in comparison to a one-parent household, that child is not going to be nearly as successful. That child is more disposed to being sent into prison by doing crimes or not doing very well in school. So how are they even supposed to get that wealth disparity shrunk if they aren't even able to get out of the community that is causing these problems for them.
Something I think that this conversation illustrates.
That's why I love school choice, bro. School choice made a big difference in my life, brother. Bro, I had to literally lie about my address to go to a different school outside of what I knew, right? In high school, I went to some of the best high school. There wasn't the best high school academically, but it was the best high school to me because I was outside of my neighborhood and I got to see things different. I got to see other things. Like, this wasn't my world. Like, I could be something else. And I think that kids need to see that. That's living in the hood, to understand that you don't have to be here, bro. Yeah, your mom and dad may live here and this is what you know, but understand that there's always something that you could strive to be, okay? And I will pass by these people's house running track, okay, playing football. You know, you got to run on the street sometimes when they make you run track. And you look at these people's house, and I always ask myself, like, what do these people do? You know what I'm saying? And that's a great question because it gives you motivation that I can have that too. Like, they live right here by this high school. I can literally have what they have, but I have to work for it. But at the end of the day, you need that because an unmotivated child is accustomed to bullshit. If you got a kid twirling their fingers looking for something to do, most of the time they're gonna get in trouble. And that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is in the hood. And yes, not having a father did play a part in that because you don't have that structure that you need. And I'm not saying that every father is a good father. What I'm saying is that just a father presence, okay? Just a person that could smack you, but could smack reality into you. Like, bro, you don't want to make this mistake because you may not could come back to that. Most kids don't understand that because most kids don't think about shit like that. You're a kid, okay? Even if you're 18, most of the time you're a kid. You don't understand what's out there, so you think that you're grown enough to make your own decisions. Your father will hey, bro, get back into reality. Get back into reality. He holds you accountable. That's called accountability. Without that, only destruction.
Is that, like, affirmative action is literally the very end of the line of a lot of different parts of a person's life. And by that point, trying to rectify all of the inequities that have existed, to try to remedy any of that at the very end with affirmative action, it might just be too broad a brush. And maybe we'd be better served focusing on the earlier issues than trying to throw a kid who maybe, can barely read at a 6th grade level into a college to hope that that's the thing that fixes the problem at the end of the line.
I think affirmative action wasn't really supposed to, send kids to Harvard that weren't prepared to go to Harvard. I think that's
most of these when I don't know that guy's name. I think Chandler. I think so. When that guy when they talk about what has occurred, it's literally like, yeah, but that wasn't supposed to happen. His answer is always, that's not what it's meant for. No, that's not what it's supposed to. We understand that's not what it's supposed to happen, but what they don't understand is that it's a hidden agenda. Everything was on purpose. Stop trying to make it seem like I don't understand it. I know where they're getting at, but I don't think it was made for that. Most of the time, none of this shit was made for how it turned out to be. When you thinking like a regular person who's innocent and don't want to hurt people, but if you have a tyrannical government, that shit is meant to happen. They want to do that, okay? But they always give you a little wiggle room to wiggle out of the truth, okay? Well, I don't think but they did this. But no. It's intentional, bro.
Quite a myth, in fact. I think those that have the qualities to get to Harvard were, before affirmative action, could just completely overlooked. Clarence Thomas is like the perfect example, regardless of what you...
She just said, they mostly just said, okay, in the past, we understood it, but what are they doing now? What are we doing, okay? It's just like feminism. Feminism started off, we understood why it started that way, but look how far y'all going. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, it always starts off good, but it was never meant to be good. Okay,
think about him. He was able to get to Harvard because of affirmative action, because it focused on finding people that were, again, like just overlooked.
But things ended up changing. It morphed into something else. So what started out as a good program of giving all black people or people with a lesser chance or lesser opportunity, it started out as that, and then it morphed and I'm not sure who morphed it, but it morphed into, okay, so now we have to have one black, one Hispanic, one this, one that.
That's not how that works.
But hey, talk to the corporations, talk to the people who hire, talk to the board members who say we need to have.
Bro, you have to have some some type of logic of what's going on around you. Because if you got a million people screaming that something is happening, you can't be in your own bubble saying, nah, that ain't happening. Bro, we literally telling you, ESG scores, that's the thing. Okay, you can sit here and deny it all you want. They have to meet a certain quota, even if they don't want to. Even when it comes to women, in the workplace, they have to meet a certain quota to get funding. Okay, they get more funding when it comes to them being more compliant to BlackRock, these big corporations who fund them. Okay, in order for me to fund you, you got to show me that you willing to give up your rights. You got to show me that you're willing to give up any boundary you have. Basically, when it comes to being funded, you're gonna do what you told. That exists. So for you to say, nah, it's like, bro, you don't really understand. You really don't understand what's around you. And ignorance is bliss, because it's easier for him to think that way than to think the way that we think, because it kind of gives you, like, especially when you first get into conservatism, it kind of gives you like a doomer mindset. Like, dang, I didn't believe it was like, I can't believe it was just like this. I can't believe nothing has been done about these people. I can't believe that they're getting away with literal murder. Why aren't they being held accountable? I can't believe that Hillary Clinton just wiped her whole servers. I can't believe that Hunter Biden is a crackhead. Stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, people think like that. You know what I mean? And nothing happens. It makes you want to give up sometimes. So it is easier to be a lefty and think that the world is good.
Have a woman on the board, we need to have a black on the board, we need to have a Latina, a Latinx, whatever on the board. So it morphed from helping us into now
tokenization.
Yes. So you have to have one of this, one of that.
Well, when you start with a country where people only hire you if you're white, that's necessary. And I know that you said that it started good and then ended whatever. And I don't think that affirmative action was perfect by any measure, but we still see really, really bad inequality. So if you're going to get rid of affirmative action, what's the replacement?
Meritocracy.
There's no meritocracy in this country. You look at Elon Musk, he's destroying Twitter.
Oh my God. This guy he's so, bro, you so woke that you don't even think about this, all right? I'm gonna leave this here. This is the last of the video. I'm gonna leave it here. When it comes to Elon Musk, he did a great thing as far as letting people get back on there and have free speech, all right? What I don't like, and I wish people understand, is that we shouldn't have to go to corporations to have our natural born right in America, and that's the right to free speech, okay? So when we dependent on corporations to do what we already should have in this country, it kind of devalues our voice, all right? Because we know that free speech is a thing here. Why are we letting these corporations dictate what's true and what's not, and if somebody should be able to talk or not? If you want to start a business here, that's what we do here. You don't get to make your own rules when it comes to you owning your own business. It don't work like that, especially when it comes to media platforms. When you censor somebody, that's breaking the law. That's not supposed to happen unless they doing some outlandish stuff. We should not depend on corporations to give us our natural born right in America. It was already fought for. It was bloodshed already for that. Why do we need to depend on corporations? It's literally like a slap in the face of our ancestors and our founding fathers of this country, because that's not what it stood for. It didn't stand for whichever corporation chooses to give you your natural born right. That's out. That's out, bro. And I think that we need to change that and change our mindset. And I do respect Elon Musk for that situation, but do I trust him? No. Okay. But you shouldn't trust nobody, especially now, because we're in troubling times. So that's the video for today, guys. Man, I appreciate you guys. Happy Friday, man. South Central, we out.
We be really politicking while we whipping in the kitchen. God be my witness. At the age of 15, I was fighting my